Welcome back. Well, fear is a part of life, but as a parent, it can certainly be hard to watch your child be scared or nervous, and you may not be sure how to handle it. Well, it turns out your presence alone is pretty powerful. A new study just published in the journal Developmental Science shows that parents can actually buffer the fear response in their children. To explain how this works, we have the president and CEO for the Center of Integrative Counseling and Psychology in Dallas, Texas, Dr. Brad Schwal. Dr. Schwal, good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you. So tell us, what did the study reveal happens to a scared child's brain when their parent is with them?
So this study proved and shows that when a parent is with a child and there is something that might be frightening, the child's attention from the parent helps the child have less of a fear response. So in the study, they were showing shapes and creating noises, and they worked with the child, with the parent holding the child's hand and not holding the child's hand. And bottom line, this study very simply shows that parents have a calming presence.
Imagine that. Okay, Dr. Schwal.
Right.
Yeah, give us some examples. I mean, you mentioned hand holding. Does a parent need to be embracing a child, or is the presence enough?
Well, this really is important, not just for the moment, but in psychology, we call it attachment theory. John Bowlby talked about the circle of security. So we're showing our children that going into a new situation can be okay. And so we go on a plane, on a trip, we walk into a new place, we make an introduction to a stranger. When we model that we are calm, it helps our child to be calm. Then we also need to remember it's okay to let our kids explore. They need to take risks, but here's the key part to that. We need to welcome them back and welcome their fear when their fear does heighten. So we model calmness and confidence, and then we welcome when there is fear and they need a little bit more comfort.
Yes, I love that, Dr. Schwal. To your point, it doesn't mean that the fear is going to be gone completely, but it certainly can make it less intense. Can you speak to what this means for children developing new fears?
Yes, definitely. So children can deal with anxiety, and it's important for us to know that. So the therapists that work at our center, they're focused on encouraging good, healthy parenting that encourages that healthy attachment. But we also are watching for when anxiety and fears does develop, there can be a biochemical aspect to that. So by helping our kids in day-to-day experiences build confidence, it helps them build resilience. By being in tune when our children's fears persist and perhaps the fear is out of proportion to the reality of the circumstance, then we need to watch that. We need to find ways to give our child more support.
And Dr. Schwal, I guess we should clarify, not all fear is bad fear. I mean, some of it is for self-preservation and protection, right?
Oh, absolutely. So we model for a child, you stay away from the stove. We tell them, you want to stay away from this. And we might even model Al as we point to the stove. So no, fear absolutely is there to protect us. It's okay to be cautious. So important for parents not to label their kids as shy if they're cautious in a new situation. Instead, prepare them, let them know what to expect in that new situation, and that models that confidence that is so important.
Yes. You know, it's to your point, every child is different. You know, if you're a parent and you've got multiple children in the household, some innately may be more fearful than others. So what advice would you give to a parent who possibly can't be present as often as they would like, or maybe a child just sort of runs into a situation where the parent's not around? What's your input there?
So parents are the foundation for their kids' lives. It doesn't matter whether they are at work during the day and the child is in childcare. The time that parents spend with their kids needs to be quality, because then that does help the kids when they are away from them. So every child is different. Often you might find the younger sibling is very brave and very, very confident. We need to parent to the child and recognize that we all are good enough parents when we give good, solid, quality attention model that we can be confident, and then be welcoming, affirming, and validating of emotion, but always showing our children that they can thrive, that they can make it through difficult circumstances.
So very helpful. And by the way, have a good and safe flight wherever you're headed.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, lots of kids around. I'm observing their fears.
Well,
so anyway, thank you.
perfect. What a great time for the interview.
Yeah.
Dr. Schwal, thanks so much.
Right.
Fanchon?
Thank you both. Well, coming up, a historic day for voters.